Hey everybody, welcome back. Just another fun-filled day, right? Let me jump right into this. You know, there's a lot of things that goes on in our lives that we have to look at. You know, God put us here on the earth to follow after where Jesus left off. And it means pick up your cross. It means not just picking up your cross and representing Him, which takes it up to God Himself. But you have to look at, what are we allowing? But yet we're so frustrated. I was just talking to a gentleman this morning when I was there fueling, and we were talking about the world and what's going on. And he was kind of like looking over at me and just like, almost like, what is your thoughts, is what I kept feeling. And I told him, I said, listen, he was going on about the politicians and all this, and I said, here's my way of looking at the politicians. They're claiming to be plain M&Ms, but in the middle, out of all the M&Ms that you can't see because they're hiding at the bottom, is these peanut M&Ms. But then when you start shaking the bowl around a little bit more, you're starting to see Reese's Pieces appear out of nowhere. And this is the ridiculousness of what's going on. The woke, transgender, allowing this stuff into schools, the COVID, all these things that they're testing us in doing. See, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if it's offending you, why? Because you can stand up for your rights as you claim, but you want to come against the Christians' belief. But yet now someone's making video games saying kill the Christians. Unbelievable. I mean, truly, it's a psychotic mess. The devil, you try to reason with the devil himself. You try to go into Lucifer's lair, good luck. You're not going to get too far with it. But you look at it and you go, where are we at in our walk? Because we can stand back and talk about politicians all day. We can stand back and talk about, I don't know, whatever you feel like that's going to make you feel better. In church on Sunday, they gave us these light sticks. And I sat there for a minute because the guy that was explaining what they're for, he says, you can break them, come either to the altar and just talk to God about things in your life. Or you can do it right there at your seat. Or you can do it at home. So the idea was to break the light stick, shake it up, and it closed. So as I was sitting there last night, thinking about things in my life, thinking about just in general, from a young child all the way up to yesterday. And there were some things that I finally, it's like when you open up that closet that you haven't opened for a long time and you're looking at some of these clothes going, man, I don't even wear half this stuff. I don't even know what half this stuff is anymore. Or it's like extremely outdated, but what's outdated these days? Nothing really, because look at what people wear. I mean, this spandex, this workout uniform stuff took off like crazy. And it's crazy. I mean, it's like, don't get me wrong, I don't care what size you are. But there's some things we have to start having some respect. First of all, for yourself. When did we get so relaxed that it's okay to dress and show everything pretty much, and stuff some people don't ever want to see? But oh boy, that was close. You know, it's the decisions like that. Good example. There was a vehicle coming on. I flashed my lights. They pause. I'm slowing down as slow as I can get without someone tearing up the back end of this trailer. And then there's that slight moment where they pause again, and then they start. At this point, they've already slowed down so slow that you're like, don't do it now, you know? And I finally just had to go, because if not, I'm going to cause an accident with, in reality, because we forget that we got to yield. What does yield mean? It means go fast and block everybody else and make everybody else have a bad day. That's what it means. Yellow lights mean, who cares? I still got the right of way. Green light means I can do whatever I want. Red light means it's up to them to figure it out, not me. Joking. But that's kind of how the devil operates. It's kind of how he moves through life. See, he mixes you up in that bowl that I was talking about at the beginning of this. You don't know where you're at. We are allowing these children that we're supposed to be protecting go through the biggest nonsense. I mean, I thought back last night really long and hard on a lot of things in life. And I thought about, as I'm holding this glow stick and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at my life going, man, I wasted a lot of time. You know, a lot of time complaining in life. And it got me nowhere. Looking at things in life that was unfair, to my opinion. Well, you guessed it. It got me nowhere. Then I started thinking about the times that I was promoted in companies that I wasn't expecting, because after a while you get so used to being passed over. And I remember one particular event where I asked the guy, "You sure you got the right person?" Yeah. And it was the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever when someone hands you a set of keys to a building and you have total control. But I was always doing something anyways, you know, I was always there. So it really didn't matter. It's like, I think that when that bug came into me going, one day I'm going to own my own business. If I can work this hard for somebody else, why can't I do it for myself? Well, years later, sometimes I think we just want something so much. Like the first person I married, she had 2 children. And I've seen how they were living, and it broke my heart. And I was like, you know, I had compassion and love for these two boys. And it was like, your mindset goes into that. Well, I didn't listen to the warnings. I didn't even look at the warnings at that point that I seen even in myself that I watched with this person. And everything in life was my fault. But you start to believe some of this nonsense after a while. It's not where I'm going with this whole thing. There's a reason for it. You know, and you go, time just flies by so fast, day in and day out. And I had to sit back and I had to ask Jesus last night, you know, forgive me for allowing this woman to control the situations, to allow these children to do what they did. But in a crazy way, I really didn't have no choice. No matter what I tried to put in place as soon as I walked out that door. And again, spending money that I had no freaking clue where all this was going. And, you know, like I've said, I was working 40 plus hours at a regular company and plus running a business. I didn't have time to look and see anything. I just had, when I was there, if they were being grounded, it looked like they were being grounded. But who deceived who? So in a way, they started their own journey, learning deceiving ways. You see people today, I honestly, this generation that's growing up, I really hope somebody shows you these videos. Because you are the laziest generation I've ever seen in my life. The laziest. But then again, I blame the people that are raising you also. Whether it's a grandmother, whether it's a grandpa, whether it's an uncle, an aunt, your mother, your father, whoever. Because if they're allowing this nonsense, they're just as bad as you are. These companies, you walk in there, and you gotta stand in line and wait on a shower, and I'm looking, and I walk back and look at the shower doors, and I'm going, well, they're open, they just need clean. And their idea of cleaning anymore, it's not so great. I watched the guy just go in there, spray some spray around, throw some clean towels in, it'll shut the door, set the code, so it'll alert the next person waiting on the shower. And I'm thinking in my head, that's clean to you? It's disgusting. And people worry about the COVID. People worry about the next plague that the government's going to shoot at us. People, we are in control, but we're not. We can be. We can take back that control because we, the people, put these people in there. But we don't have no voices anymore. And that's what they want. They want to put fear in us, and we buckle so fast. And people do. I've watched it so many times. This is what you have to do. But yet, we allow these people, and I walk back up here and I said, pardon me. And the lady looks at me, she goes, what? Alright, there's like 4 shower doors open back here that needs cleaned, and there's like 5 of us waiting on showers. You know, I'm off duty in a 10-hour period. So if I sit in here for an hour or 2 hours waiting on a shower, that starts taking into my time that I need to be in my truck to start preparing to go to bed so I can get a proper rest, because I'm driving an 80,000-pound vehicle if it's fully loaded down the road. They just look at you. But yet, the people that are cleaning the showers are on their phones. I see it in Walmart all the time. On their phones. I know when I unloaded trucks during the winter at Walmart, there wasn't a lot of snow coming, and you still needed to work. Like back, my landscaping days, plus I worked at a car dealership detailing cars. So I need extra income. Don't ask. Again, blame nobody but when I look in the mirror, I blame that person. I should have, could have, would have. But I was too busy trying to not push the envelope, so I didn't end up back in child support, so I didn't end up over here doing this or that, and I was able to be around my children every day. But I'm still at fault because I really didn't stand up after a while. And the amazing part is when they talk about the time that I came there to watch them and I was drunk. Seriously. and they haven't eaten. We had, at the time, nice furniture in there, which she ended up giving that away. And like a dum-dum, I went out and bought new furniture because it wasn't for her. It wasn't for her many boyfriends. It wasn't for any of that. It was for the children. Because I'm not about to see a child suffer. No matter who's involved. And I guess that's going through what I went through in life. I don't know. You know, I think sometimes people need to really look at reality, look at truth, because they don't want to hear truth. See, they don't want to hear truth. Because then it throws their connection back to God. And the devil doesn't want that now. So many things pointing fingers at me and blame me. So many faces look back at me, and at the same time they got their hands wrapped around me, jabbing the knife into my spine. Well, let me tell you. One thing I've learned in life is how to survive and how to fight. I don't know if either one of those are a good trait. I think back today where we live, and the crazy thing is, I used to run up and down this street. So if you go a little bit longer, if anybody lives around the Akron area, you know, they know Kenmore Boulevard, there's a gazebo. Well, I lived on that street that goes down, that wraps around, and you can get on the expressway going towards 76 and all that. Well, I would run from there all the way down, all the way out to Portage Lakes, around the park, go to my friend's house, pick up my bike, and I'd bicycle back. I told you guys all that. And that was my kind of my release in life. But you look at today, you can't even get kids out of a house. They don't want to take jobs. You know, they don't want to do daily work. Some of them, I guarantee it, probably couldn't even turn on a stove to cook if they had to. Let alone a washing machine or anything else. But my thing is this. What are you going to do if something happens to you? What are they going to do? What have you taught them? What is the schools teaching them? Transgender is okay? To identify? I would just like to walk into some of these places and take a green crayon and just go, this is a blue crayon. And I would just love to see their reaction when they say no, because I guarantee it, even as messed up as their minds are, they're going to say, no, it's a green crayon. No, it's not. I identify this as a blue crayon. And that's supposed to make it all right. Well, I wonder if I walk into the IRS, I got to have a building. What if I walk in there, or walk into Congress when they're in the middle of their councils and going through and trying to pass laws or whatever the heck they think they're doing in there these days, and walk in there and go, hey, listen, since you all like to pass these ridiculous things in life, I want to identify, and I'm not even going to go with the billionaire. I'm going to identify. I'm going to identify as a millionaire, and you people have to make it happen. You got to make it happen, or I'm going to sue the living tar out of all of this because you're racist, you're prejudiced. And no, I'm not coming against anything, despite what some people think. Some people think I'm the biggest racist. Seriously, I've been called just recently a bigot, racist, Nazi. Okay. That's fine. That's your opinion. Doesn't mean I really care. My thing is, we're allowing them to take this nonsense talk and bring whatever they want to the table. But where do we stand up for God? Where do we stand up for Jesus in any of this? Where are we allowing? We're not. We're allowing them to take God out of church. We're allowing them to take God out of school, out of our Constitution. And then you wonder why we're in the mess we're in. Because we may be the people, but we sure aren't the voices anymore. I don't know. Something about sitting in the dark, breaking a glow stick. And it was one of them ones that had a string like you wear around your neck. So it was one of it was pretty big and pretty fat. Maybe a golfer familiar. But it's something about just holding that light in your hand. You know, you're just like holding it, looking at it. And I don't know, it just made me think about all kinds of things. And I don't know. You know, I know in that other video, I don't even know if it uploaded yesterday. I was on my way out to where I'm at now, up here in York, Pennsylvania, but then now I'm heading to Baltimore, Maryland. And it feels like I just got stopped and that alarm clock was going off, and it was like, oh. And it was like one of those things where I couldn't focus really much anything. Just you know, some days I wake up and I don't even have a clue where I'm at. Whether I'm under load, need to go deliver a load, need to go pick up a load, even at home. The alarm will go off and I'm just thinking in my head going, oh my gosh, I gotta get a load, you know, or I gotta deliver this, or I gotta do something. And then I realize I'm at home. But I had a few minutes where I was sitting, trying to figure out where I was going to go. And I was looking at something and a couple people commented back, and I was able to comment to them. And they're from the YouTube channel. And I went on and checked a couple things, and my one cousin also was supporting this idea. And then this morning, I got an alert on a message, and so I opened my email. Somebody did ask me, hey, exactly what they said. Hey, I'm just curious now because I heard in that video. So it must have. Why do you want this so bad? And I replied back to him. And I said this. You see a bike built, even though I may not be able to go hands-on and do it all because I did watch the bike builds before, and really don't have a whole lot. I mean, you put your ideas and they take your thoughts and all that kind of stuff, but it's not like you're there building the bike that I know of. I don't think you're there building the bike with them, which would be pretty cool. But it's the fact, each piece, like Darlene got me some model cars and trucks and stuff. She got me some trucks for my birthday with this trailer, big semi truck and trailer. And the directions are useless. I mean, seriously, useless. And I'm trying to put this trailer together. Can't get the sides, can't figure it out. Finally, I said, okay, it's going to be a flatbed. So now I'm working on the truck itself. Good luck. I mean, I'm so disappointed because it's like, I just wanted it to look good. Nothing, no matter what I do, no matter how long I spend on something, it never looks good to me. I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Stuff I deliver to Jesus every day. But it's like, when you grow up thinking you're going to pass on knowledge and wisdom, and everything twists around, it just feels like, I guess the best way to put it is this. I never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I was somebody to anyone to win something like this. I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't even feel some days that I deserve to be under Jesus' authority. I think some days that he's given these abilities to the wrong person. The things I'm able to see, the things I'm able to walk and do. Then he reminds me, when I chose the 12 disciples, I didn't choose the ones anybody else would have chosen. I chose the ones that nobody. And look, one of them was a devil. He was a thief. What did he do? He held the money bags. Why? Because Judas would have needed to be that way to go to be able to sell Jesus for 30 coins. Well, let me tell you, I believe over the years I have done the same thing. My hands have so much blood stains on it, it's not even funny. Sometimes I think you get so close in life to something. I never thought that I would make it into the final top 5. And it really doesn't show who all votes. And like I explained to another person last night before I had to get back at it because I was waiting on them to change these loads around. And I never thought that I would even make it into the final 5. It shows who this guy. It shows that who recently voted. And all I can do is thank anybody that done it, that's been on there and voted. But you got 2 days, literally 2 days. You got Wednesday and it ends Thursday night. You got to be in the top #1 spot. I'm in the 4th spot. Where I'm going with all this is because of the question. I told them that I would put it on here on the next video. So I went on the Messenger and I went on there and looked, and that's how I knew my cousin. She sent a vote in. And the crazy thing is, if you got Facebook and all that kind of stuff, you don't have to. Nobody really has to pay, but you can purchase votes, and it goes to the vets and stuff like that. Plus, it helps build the bike and stuff like that. Also, let's face it, nothing's free these days. There's a price for everything. There's a price for you. You're either going to sell out to the devil, or you're going to give yourself back to Jesus. Allow him to lead your life. There's still a price. He paid it. You know, you think about what Jesus paid. He paid for your sin. He paid for your health. He paid for your life. I could go down the list of the things Jesus paid when he went to that cross. I get amazed some days driving. I tried to pass this guy about 3 times. So I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm governed at 68 miles an hour on cruise. Governor, since if some of you don't know, it means these companies put a speed, the top speed that you can go, and the truck will not go over that because they put the specs on there to where your truck won't go over 68 miles an hour. Okay, well, that's fine and dandy. In a lot of places it's 70, 65, 60, 55, 50. Not so bad. You go out west and you're 80 miles an hour. That's horrible. But a lot of the west, most of those roads like I-80 going into like Iowa and all that, most of those roads, there ain't a lot of people on it anyways. And if they are, they're going 80 miles an hour. So they're going fast. They're going past you pretty quickly. It's kind of like how I felt life is. Life in the fast lane. And I lived so fast, trying to outrun the wind. I didn't do such a good job at it. But anyways, and I know what a lot of people think. You know, I would too. Sometimes I do think this about myself. Would a bike build off truly mean anything? To me it would. It truly would. In different ways. Not that I could stand up there and go, I did it. No, I didn't. And I wouldn't. Because it took people that took the time to think about it. Even if Thursday night comes and I'm still in 4th place, this will be a moment in my life that I won't forget. Because I look at people that voted for me. People actually stood with me for once in my life instead of turning against me or saying, which I've heard, this is a worldly thing you're doing. No, it's not. I wouldn't do it if I truly felt there's so much more to it. Think back when I was in school, little boy, and they would hand out these things. You have to go around and sell books or sell whatever, spices, whatever the heck it was. But they always gave you the prize paper with it. And I hear kids talking, oh, my mom's going to take this to her work, and let's face it, where we lived, there was a lot of people that went to school. And once you already knocked on the door, oh no, I already bought something. Oh no, I bought from this person. Oh no, from this. And you run out of options. You know, it's like my grandmother would buy something off of us. My mom once in a while. And again, you have no clue that you don't have money. But there was always something. You got something. And I remember certain kids always seemed to sell so much stuff. And then when the prizes came in, their stuff would come in a little bag and they'd pull the stuff out. You know, it was always one of those things that you never felt good about. And I know it's not about material things, people. I've lost so much stuff over the years, through fires, through floods, through whatever. I've given up so much stuff. I've given up my whole entire life to prosper, to do something else in somebody else's life. Today, when I decided to go follow Jesus, I didn't even give him all of it. Because I was afraid. I truly was afraid. And I'm telling you this, I was so afraid that he was going to do the same thing to me that everybody else did. You know, I had another bike down in Florida. I bought it here in Ohio, moved back down to Florida, and I was so excited because, you know, Darlene was always like, you know, there's no sense in owning a bike up here because you can't ride it there. True. I don't disagree with that. But the times that you do get to ride it, it's just, it takes me back. And the bike that I ended up buying, it was like $600. Ended up putting this guy, I knew he overcharged, but I'm driving, don't have a whole lot of time to go out and fix stuff. Plus when we lived, it was so bloody hot. I mean, good night. The asphalt would get so hot. You couldn't stay out there for long times on it. So she finally looked at me and goes, well, if you're going to ride it, then just get it fixed. And I started looking at parts, and there were some parts that was hard to get, and other parts for it, because it was an older bike. It reminded me of my first bike. I traded my car for this bike. This was a good friend of mine. Now, he didn't tell me all the problems with this bike. I gave you a car that ran. I gave you something that was decent. So I get the bike. It sits there. The next day I go out, start it up, won't start. So, okay. I put it in neutral, start pushing it, getting it rolling. Jump on it, pop it, and put it in gear, pop it, and starts. He told me he had a brand new battery. And when I ran into him, I said, hey, man, why won't this bike start? Oh, I don't know, I put a brand new battery in it. I don't know what's wrong. There's something wrong. It just won't stay charged. You could have told me that. And it cost us, for a while, our friendship was kind of like back and forth, you know. I was really so disappointed. You know, like, hey, you kind of screwed me over, man. So, I ended up having to move out of there. And I didn't have nowhere to put the bike. I end up giving it to this guy at work. And in the same token, he was supposed to let me come over and help him work on it, and he was supposed to give me a deal on this car that he had. And he wanted $250 for the car. Now, granted, this was a long time ago. It was a Malibu. So I go over and buy it, and he took off some money. Found out later on from another guy at work, he originally wanted $250 for the car. He acted like he was giving me a deal because I gave him the bike, and it was supposed to be a little bit knockoff on the price. He didn't do anything like that. Instead, I get the car, get it started, I go to put gas in it. Didn't tell me there was straps holding this tank up. The tank freaking is leaking everywhere. I can only put $5 at a time in this tank, otherwise it leaks. Or the tank will drop loose. So I'm trying to get straps and all this stuff on this tank. But you see what happens in life. The reason why you go to, you don't believe, you don't trust. Then I bought another bike that got sold out from underneath me. All my cars and stuff that I've always had, same thing. People selling them off, whatever, you know. You just don't understand. You know, I've never got the concept. So in a crazy way in my life, I went to Jesus about all of this. And I said, Lord, if it's in the right way, it's not like I will idolize a bike. That's by far not the truth. But it would mean something to me. And even though I've been telling myself it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You know, even if my prayer is not heard, if Jesus doesn't allow it to happen, I know it's obviously going to be for my own good. But it's just the fact that it's something that means so much that I can't even put into words. It's like that moment where you just go, trained so hard for something, and you just can't quite finish it. But I tell you, that day of watching Jesus go through the crucifixion, when he told me to turn around and I had to continue to watch, it was the most heart-wrenching, jerking thing I've ever seen in my life. I look at life a lot differently. And I trust him. I trust him more now than I've ever trusted anything in my life. So, a simple bike to somebody else. And, you know, you go on to other people's stuff and you look at it. One guy, he was showing the bikes that he's got in his garage and all this stuff. And, you know people's putting on these long stories about life and all this. I'm only telling you this because I promised this person that I would do it on the video. Because let me tell you, people, when we look at our lives and you break that, I actually recommend people doing this. When you break that glow stick open and you sit there in the dark, it lights up. It's so crazy. I never realized how a single glow stick can light up a room. Of course, I'm in the back of a little sleeper berth in the truck, but still, it illuminated that area like crazy. I couldn't believe how much. So, I recommend you try it. Really dig into yourself. And look at where you're at on that walk with Jesus. You'd be surprised some of the stuff that you're still holding a grudge against. You know, even with my children, you know, I couldn't understand why nobody would just come up and ask me. Instead, they just took their own thoughts or somebody else's thoughts. My nephew, same thing. What's the truth? He said to me. Until you're able to pick up that phone and call me or meet me face to face, because you had no problems stabbing me, but you don't want to face me face to face. That's a coward. You're like the father of lies, a coward. Even like Darlene's youngest daughter, going around doing all the stuff that she did. I have so much truth to prove. But I'm done fighting, people. I'm done fighting with all of them. I'm done fighting with this world. I'm just exhausted. And I think about these videos, and I think about, is it really even helping anybody? And then once in a while, you get these people to pop on there and go, brother, it helped me. And Jesus was one. See, you're all very special people, not just because you're on here and I'm telling you this. You're very special people because you have stayed on this roller coaster. Even when I got out and started walking in that desert, I had one person ask me, and I had one person tell me this also. So 2 different times. Brother, I'll get off that roller coaster with you. I mean, that roller coaster, and I'm going to walk in the desert with you. Well, thank you. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. And the thing of it is a lot of his life, I'm just going to share a little bit with him. I mean, with you guys. I'm not going to give you his last name, but hold Brandon in your thoughts. You know, he struggles sometimes and he goes back into an old way. And I know he's trying really hard. I really do. And it hurts me so much when I hear that he falls back a little bit. And I know because how it hurts Jesus. I don't want him to fall. I don't want him to slide back. I feel for him. I wish I could be closer. But he lives in Canada. I think back in my life going crazy. Out of control. Not saying that he is. I'm just saying my days. I was out of control. So if you would, say a prayer. Just pray for him. I'd appreciate it. I truly would. he's a good guy. I mean, I don't think he's really ever had a lot of support either in life. And I just want him to know from my heart, brother, I love you. God loves you. God loves you so much he sent his son. But all of you that have stood by me from the beginning of this, again, I thought I would just skate by on everything else like I do and go, okay, Lord, here you go. I put a couple of videos on. I'm done. And I fought through some horrible things. You got to do the channel this way. You got to do it this way. You need to do this, or you need to put more scriptures and stuff into it. I don't have to show you. I don't have to prove it. I got to show you. I got to show you the love of Christ. How do I do that? By telling you my life, how he has changed me. You guys would have known me years ago. You would have came into my life 20 plus years ago. You would have been like, no way. And I couldn't blame you. And I wouldn't. You guys are good people. Even though I know one particular person that I came against a couple videos back, and I really didn't come against it, I just found it very disrespectful. If you had any kind of respect for me, you would have never sent such stuff like that. And I worry about you. Because you're falling back into a dark area of life. I believe this person has a big heart. I really do. I really believe she has the right intentions. Again, she allows the wrong people. Well, I can't fix that. Only you can. You can deliver it to Jesus, but you got to surrender and want and be willing to pick up the plow sometimes and plow. Even if that plow is too heavy, he will send somebody to help you. It's up to you. But anyways, I think I'm just going to pray. And, I got about 20 miles. And I'm getting ready to get into Baltimore. Oh my gosh. These days are just... I don't know. Anyways, let's pray. Heavenly Father, Father, I thank you for this day, and Father, I thank you for all these people that's been here from the beginning, and the ones that still have never given up on a comment. They still comment, whether I comment back to them or not. But Father, you know I think about them. You know when I come across their stuff, and even if I don't get a chance right then and there to comment back, I've lifted them up to you, and you know it. And that's all that matters. Father, I ask for the glory of your Son to be seen into their lives today. That they look at him truly and for what he has truly done for us. And to look at their lives. And Father, I really hope that people do this glow stick thing. And really examine, even if they have to write everything down first on paper. Because I'm telling you, one thing last night led into another. Into another, and into another. But you, Father, love us. You designed hell not for us, for the fallen angels and Lucifer. It was never meant to have anybody born here on earth. But we became sinisters, and thieves, and liars, and everything else. We mock you. We allow you to be taken out of everything. But then we cry out to you when we're in pain or need. We're going through the Grand Canyon spiral downhill and trying to look up and go, wow, this is a mess. We cry out to you then. Where's the praise for today that we have daily breath? Where's our thanksgiving? And And we have clothes on our backs, on our body. We have shoes we can put on and we don't have to walk across stones barefoot. Where is our thanksgiving that we have the ability to get inside of a vehicle or ride a bike or whatever it is that we do, take a bus somewhere? But your son walked everywhere he went. He didn't have that luxury that we are given. Where's the thanksgiving for the air that we have during this hot summer nights? That we can turn on air conditioning and rest. We have heat. Or you've given Darlene and I a place that has not only one fireplace, but two fireplaces. The crackling of the wood. Where's the Thanksgiving? That we go to that refrigerator. Sometimes I think about when I was a little boy, am I going to open this up and there's going to be nothing in it? Or when I got older, there was no food after so many weeks of the month. It's crazy. It's crazy how we don't uphold our Thanksgiving. So, Father, I just ask today, whoever comes across this video, whenever it is, day, night, or their times, which time zone they're in, or which country they're in, that they take time to examine themselves truly. Because I know you're sending your son soon. And Lord Jesus, my friend, my shepherd, my Savior, my King, thank you. Thank you for never giving up on me and anybody else that's doing a prayer right now for themselves. But I also lift them all up. I lift them up, whoever comes across these videos, comes with receiving heart, receiving mind, to truly listen to the words, and not to think harsh things, but truly listen to what you have done to me, what you have done for me, what you have taken me from. I thank you. I thank you for being that forgiveness, teaching me how to forgive. I thank you for being that example, because that cross is stained with your blood. I thank you for being that leader and showing me how to lead my way out of situations. And I thank you for being that shepherd when all's lost. Your hand's reaching out. Your hand is grabbing mine, pulling me. I'm thanking you for never letting go when I try. I thank you for holding me when I cry. I thank you for coming to me when I'm in pain and I just can't bear another breath. I thank you for sitting with me and talking to me when I feel defeated, or I feel like a loser. When I hear the devil talking, saying I'll never accomplish nothing. Look at everything that I've done, it's failed. Maybe, but you always tell me I'm somebody and that you love me. I haven't been the best person, Lord. But I ask you into my life every day, as I am right now. Lead me, guide me, protect me. Let me only speak the words you give me to speak. But let me speak nothing. Let me do accordingly to your purposes and plans, my Lord. Or let me do nothing. Whether I understand it or don't, remember it or do. Let me do what you have made me here to do. And why you put me here. I can't take back yesterday, but I can learn. And I can teach people. And hopefully, it'll change them. The day I put down that substance, and I said no more. The day I looked at that bottle of of whiskey. I dumped it out. Threw the bottle into the fire pit. I said, no more. The day I opened up my trunk and I pulled that cooler full of bottles of beer out. Dumped them all. I said, no more. The day I walked, pulled that rope and I wrapped around my neck and I kept it for years. The day I threw that in the fire pit, I said no more. So help me today, Lord, say no more to the deceiving ways and the temptations and all the things that the devil is going to try to put at me. Let me put the body of armor on, and I know that if I walk in them steps that you have laid out from the Father, that pathway that He's made for each one of us, and if I continue to walk in there and walk with you and not try to travel faster or further than you have already been, I know today is going to be a powerful day. I praise you, my Lord. I thank you. I lift up each person and their needs. As far as I know, the only one that I still know that's out there, and I haven't heard anything back yet, Lord, send somebody to buy that house if it's still for sale, if there's still time. I know you allow things to happen sometimes for the time period, get them to draw more closer to you. When things seem impossible, you make things possible. It can go down to the last second, and you'll still make it possible. But help me, Lord, in the times when things don't go as I see, or as I dream about, or wish. Help me understand you have a bigger plan. I'm holding that little teddy bear, you're holding that big giant one behind your back because you got something better. Help me focus on that and not another loss. Help me be strong today. Help me make wise choices. Help me not be selfish. Be selfless. Help me help people. Speak to people. Just let you shine through, and the cross today has a purpose. And you did not go to a cross for nothing. But let it all be done in your name. It leads to our Heavenly Father. And let it be done. As you says, it is finished. God bless you all. May the Lord lead you today. May His blood cover you. May your table see food, your refrigerator never be empty. Let your needs be met. Follow Him faithfully, and you'll never have to worry that these things won't happen. Because He is a God of possible, and He doesn't break a promise, even though man does. God bless you guys. Love you. Until the next one.